see. So I'm like, hello, hello. Will's gonna hop on for the first hour with us too. All right, so we'll get some Will perspective, William Henry Dvorak perspective on maybe some of the ends in his Ravens Rook.
All right.
Sound good? How are you? Hey, Stronghold. Hey, Norker. Hey, Tim.
That's left to be seen.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we didn't have Aaron on a Legends of Lore show.
Because it's probably been never.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a little different. Dave, what's up? Good to see you all. Sure, cook here. Woohoo! Dave, we need to choose from last week, so we can do that. You want something to challenge the kids? Got a couple decent things here. What's up, Dale? How are you? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Time for me to beat up my sponsors and get some new ads. Oh, thanks, Norger. Thank you. Oh. Got a busy 4-stream week here. Culminating with Ed Greenwood and crew Saturday night.
Saving the best for the last.
No, the best would be Sunday night is Eric Mona and James Jacobs.
Well, that sounds even better.
Yeah, for Greyhawk purposes, absolutely. Oh, thanks, Norker. You may get us a hype train before we even get started here. Look at that, Norker. You got me all off my game now. What button to hit?
Trollord Games. Join the fray.
That's right. It was you who did too. We need 3 different people. So, we're rolling through here. My guess is Blue Box will be finishing up any minute raiding in, so I'm as prepared as I can be, I think, but, you know, I go the basics on this. I know Mike's going to step up with some obscure ones.
Right.
What's up, Fuzz? Obsidian, good to see you all.
Yeah, there was definitely some research involved here. I pulled some of my books off the shelf just in case.
Awesome. That's great. You know, hey Gabriel, I go classics a lot of times just because I want those that are memorable, you know, and then some that maybe not. But we'll see. Let me switch this up. Probably come on a few minutes early. Yeah, I don't know that one, Dorker. I know you're gonna throw out a bunch of obscure ones I've never heard of before. I have no idea where the Sozier is. That one, you got me. Is that a gore novel? Oh, it's from a less game. All right, well that's cool because you know, I got some of my own here too. It's not published. But less should be published. Right? I think less should be published. Oh, it's in design. Well, that counts. Counts. The new Zine is not out yet. Zine, Zine, however the hell you want to say it. Look at that. Almost time. Cool. Good to hear. Someone sent me, was that you, Norker, who sent me just St. Benedor in Discord? I mean, someone just sent me those two words, and I'm thinking to myself, what was that about? Alright, that's what I thought. Yeah, I have the special increased for it. Yeah. Just, dude, it's not going to be till the third week in June, fourth week in June. I'm swamped, and then I'm on vacation. Family vacation, but I promise I will have it for that next one. You just tell me the deadline, and I'll have it. Yep, it's good. All right. Memorable Tavern. They may not be memorable. I just put that. I like putting adjectives into the title. So, Taverns and Inns of Greyhawk. Where it all starts normally, right?
Right. Right.
Where it all starts.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly... No, see, that's the name of the adventure Saturday night. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, hey.
Yeah, Mike, that's what it is. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? You got Ed Greenwood, Eric Boyd, Eric Menke, and 4 of the Slav Squad girls. What could go wrong?
What could go right?
What could possibly go wrong with that group? Not a thing. Yeah, well... Actually, and as Tim says, they're now, when they're merged together, it's 2 squats minimum. It's a hybrid. So instead of 2 drink minimum and Slav squat, 2 squats minimum.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Norker, I'm good for autumn. No problem. I will have it. 4th week in June or 1st week in July for you. All right, we're coming live 6 minutes early. How's that sound? Get this thing rolling here. You're all gonna boom. Look at that timing. It was like uncanny with that timing. Hey, Blue Box, John, good to see you. It's Mike, Greyhawk Mike, and myself tonight as Anna is overseas in her homeland of Sweden for a month. So Mike and I are here. William Henry Dvorak probably will be joining us as well. Good evening. Hope you're all doing well. How's it feel, Mike? It feels weird, doesn't it, a little bit?
Yeah, my window's way too large.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it'll be all right. Yeah, you got the big screen up there, and yeah, but it's going to be a fun one tonight, and great. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you very much, John and Rob. Good to see you all. I was listening in. It was a good conversation. Yes. I will apologize for calling my players idiots in the chat. It was a joke. If you don't get it, sorry. But, my guys, the tuna fish rating. So, yeah, it just is what it is. But this is a great week kickoff. So we got 4 streams tonight. Tomorrow night's our normal game, Adventure number 1002, which will be 2 weeks. Saturday night, Ed Greenwood and crew, a Slav Squat 2-drink minimum crossover event. And then Sunday night, Eric Mona and James Jacobs on the Savage Tide Adventure Pass. So we got some great discussion tonight. Mike and I are going to kick this off. See you, Larry. Oh, cool. Have a good one from Iceland. Good to see you. We're going to have a fun discussion here on memorable taverns and inns, and just bounce it around. Come up with you want to talk about some of the ones you like. We'll talk about some of the ones Mike and I like, and some of the ones that laid a foundation for our gameplay. So Mike, a question right off the bat for you. How many, like back in the day,
back in the day,
playing in the early days,
okay.
How many adventures did not start in an inn?
Oh, geez.
Like,
yeah, that's a good question. How many did not start in an inn?
Hello.
There's Will. What's up, Will?
Not much. How's it going, man?
How you doing? We just went live here. Blue Box just right in. Thank you so very much.
Timing.
Perfect timing. Absolutely perfect timing. And I don't have any major technical issues yet, which is a good thing. So
I'll knock on some wood for you.
Hey there. And Mike's happier now. His picture's smaller. So
yeah, it's so I don't know, half. And the other half that don't start in a tavern, like you come in, the king hires you to go do this task. Well, you probably met at the tavern before that, and they just glossed over that.
Right. Yeah. I hate meeting at the tavern.
It is. It's so gauche. It's so gauche that it's kind of a running joke in my game. That's where we always start. Just on purpose.
In my general experience too, you've got people who generally have been role playing. Usually, if you've got a new group, you should never meet in a tavern. But even like groups that have been together and been playing for a while, and they do that, I meet in a tavern. It's like nobody gets down to business. They're always just mucking around.
Yeah. That's so true.
It's like there's a mysterious guy in the corner. He looks like he's got a quest. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go talk to that waitress over there.
Exactly. Oh, there's Aragorn hiding in the corner.
Right.
So I want to.
Well, I suppose just having your adventure group show up at your house and you have to cook dinner for them would be quite a way to start an adventure. Then,
absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
So a question just got all risen, and I don't remember what's the name of the inn and Keep on the Borderlands.
It's the Keep on the Borderlands one. I just saw this. The Green Man.
The Green Man. That's it. Yeah, cool.
I think it is.
Awesome. So we'll talk about some of them tonight. Some that you may like, some that you're like, it's just another inn. But let's have some fun with this discussion. So we're going to be doing a classic D&D reprint giveaway. I was thinking I got this. One of the ones that Patrick sent me. I was going to say, let's do this one. We've never given this away. I think it's, who cares? It's not really edition based, but it's called So You Walk Into a Tavern.
That's cool.
Yeah, discover secrets of taverns and inns for the world's greatest role playing game. So give that in hard copy. Well, can we do one Ravens Rook in PDF?
You can do two.
Two Ravens Rook PDFs tonight too for 3 giveaways. So thank you, Will. Thank you so very much. Sure. And once again, I will be casing it up all night long for you on this, because we're going to obviously talk about some of the inns in Ravensrook as well. And then we may talk about some in Altamira too, because that's going to be coming out soon in publication. So,
Curtis is right, though. You got to go to the taverns to get all the good rumors.
That's true.
People are liquored up, and they don't know who they're, who's overhearing them.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah.
And a lot of them, especially, I mean, you go even early on. So like the Green Dragon Inn, that's the place where all the adventurers in Greyhawk, City Greyhawk, That's where they go to hang out. They go to hang out in the Green Dragon Inn.
Yeah.
So true.
It'd be like doing a Wild West role playing game and not having a saloon.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah.
People would be like, "What?"
Where are they going to start in a Wild West game? That's the thing. Where do you start in a Wild West game? Do you start at the mortician? I mean, where the heck do you start in that? You know, the barber shop.
I had I ran for a while a Boot Hill campaign for a better part of the year, and I started it off with them in a stagecoach that was getting robbed.
Oh,
and
cool.
They were all part of the stagecoach. So
that's cool. That's a good way to do it.
I liked it.
So much that I know about the Green Dragon Inn. I don't remember what section of the city it's in Greyhawk.
It's in the River Quarter.
It is in the River Quarter. I just passed the River Quarter. That's what I thought. There it is.
Oh,
R2,
yes.
chapter 6.
Now,
The Rollicking River Quarter.
Yep.
Later on, I had always just assumed, I didn't know the name of it. I always thought Robillard owned it and just owned it out. You know, like didn't, but I guess he owned it, and then this Ricard Damaris.
Yeah, Ricard Damaris, yep.
He's actually the front for it.
The proprietor, yeah.
Yeah, and Robillard was the owner behind the scenes.
Yes, because he did not, because of his badness or because all the stuff that happened, he didn't want anyone to know that he was the actual owner.
Yeah, they'd seize that.
Yeah,
it's all a point of view. I wouldn't call Robillard evil.
You should, because Coons called him bad, right? So himself, neutral with evil tendencies. Yeah, I was like,
what's an evil tendency?
He stoinked Zugtamoy. How's that?
That sounds like a man making connections.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't get that story out of my head now. When Rob told it, but yeah. So here we go at the Green Dragon Inn. This is like the most well-known haunt. So well known that it's in Expeditions Ruins of Greyhawk a lot. There's a lot going on there. So much so that I don't use it. Because it's over. Yeah. It's too used. I used it in the story play for that, but when we adventure, I'll show mine that we use in Greyhawk when we get around to it. But it's
in the original coloring book.
Yeah.
For D&D as well. That's where the adventures at the very beginning of the coloring book meet before they go on the adventure. They're at the Green Dragon Inn.
Yep. It is the most well-known watering hole establishment in Greyhawk. And it even gives you a listing of possible NPCs you may see here. This is the Free City Greyhawk box set. So, you got Imogen, Tarnik McLugan, even Lady Valsar's Sharn. So, you got some really neat ones here. It's a cool establishment. It's written up.
It's not the best.
No.
In Greyhawk City. No. It's not the worst either.
Right. There's some real bad.
It says that it's got a rough reputation about it.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah,
but that's probably because there's adventurers in there, and
you can bring your weapons in.
Yeah, you're allowed to go armed and armored.
Yeah. It says here, fist fights and even broken glass and dagger fights do not bother Ricard unduly, although he may wade in with his club to subdue people if matters getting out of hand. His regulars know when to stop. So if
that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yep. So it does give you some information right there that fighting is welcome. All right. So how many of us here, we raise our hand, or just say hey, all the time? How many of us here have had an adventure extremely sidetracked by the PC setting off a brawl in a tavern?
I
can't say I have.
Probably routinely start adventures that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now in the middle of a campaign, maybe less so.
Okay.
All
the time.
Yeah.
I would just generally, I'd either beat them down or they would beat down people in the bar. It depends. If I want them to go to the jail so that I can get them not into the adventure, then yeah.
No.
Norker's wife did that in the group he was in. Yanked a knife on an NPC. Yeah, we've had it happen. We've had insults tend to be the top thing. As everyone knows, I can hurl insults at with the best of them. Yeah. There's always a guy that rolling. Yeah, it's just, and I think that's one of the things that repercussions of that sort. Us as DMs are very lenient on it, even though we probably shouldn't be, especially if someone's getting killed or severely injured. But it's part of the gameplay. It's part of the charm, I guess, or the lack of charm of gameplay. It's still up in chat. Okay, well, there you go, MPL. I'm sorry about that. Twitch is doing a lot. They changed up. I immediately got a doc I had to sign as a partner with a new partner agreement with all these changes. They didn't really affect me. But still, there's a lot of changes. They're making a lot of changes to things like, as you can see, the ad in the corner. They don't want that bigger than 3% of your total screen, where it's showing all my. Hey, that's close to freaking 3% for me, right? I'm not making any changes.
Micromanaging now.
Yeah, all that.
Oh, so you can't advertise on your screen? Yeah, because they're not getting a cut of that. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. So, hey, I don't know what they're doing about my full ads at the beginning. I don't care either. So, but that's
Right.
that's what's going on. Everyone just note there's some weird stuff going on behind the scenes of Twitch, but it's nothing that is going to end. I'm not going to be like, I'm moving to Kick. It's not happening here. So,
Kick.
yeah, there's like three or four new streaming ones.
I am totally out of the loop.
Yeah, well, be happy that you're out of the loop on those.
Yeah. Oh, I am.
Be happy. So we got you for like 45 minutes?
No, you got me for longer than that.
Okay. All right. Let's do this first. We'll go to one here. Then Mike's going to give us one, and I'll do one. So what do we got? Will, tell me where to go.
Well, I basically, to give a little bit of preface on
Please.
this. So Raven's Rook, or I'll just call it what it is. Those who are not familiar with Rook Roost, otherwise known as Raven's Rook, it is a ring city in the fact that you've got the top peak district, which is the posh district, and then sequential rings around the city, and then the further out they go, the poorer they go.
Oh, nice.
And essentially, there's an establishment in the peak, and then the outer city, and then the inner city that I have. Now, the first one is the Crystal Palace, which is the Crystal Palace is a massive.
What page?
In Tavern. I'm sorry, 55. In Tavern that caters to all the district's high-class people. Now, this is in the peak district, so this is the poshest of districts. Let's see, where was that? 4 stories with the top floor reserved for the most opulent of the city visitors. The common rabble are not allowed into the Crystal Palace.
Oh.
The front door is guarded, and entry is by reservation only.
Nice.
The Crystal Palace gets its name from the dozen crystal chandeliers that hang from the common room rafters, which doubles as its dining area. The establishment has many private chambers, meeting rooms, and a lavish garden, rivaled only by the one found in the city's council hall.
Nice.
So that's where the rich and opulent go to do their business.
That's funny.
I'm surprised I don't have the name of. There's a very rich and influential gnome that owns the Crystal Palace. I'd have to look up his name though.
Cool. Is he published source that you changed out, or is he from your campaign?
No, this guy is actually from my campaign.
All right, cool.
So
Cool.
Bug me. Norker,
bug me.
That was a good one. Oh, you bet. Yeah.
Too easy.
That was awesome.
Too easy, Norker.
Let's see. I'll find him. If you want to go ahead, Mike.
Okay.
There he is. I just Bertram
Found it?
Glitterstone, owner of the
Nice,
Crystal
Bertram.
Palace. He's on page 71.
All right, cool.
And that talks about his.
So you have the NPCs
history and
separate
whatnot.
on here.
Yeah, because you've got map with all the places of interest, and then the people to know. Usually, though, I thought I had each place of interest, if it had an NPC that was associated with it, their name was at least dropped. But obviously, in this one, I didn't.
Is that his picture below? Is this he?
Yep, that's Bertram.
Yes. Shit-eating grin, as Tom would say. Awesome. And he's a real gnome, not a converted one. So,
no.
yes, very cool. Rumors abound that Bertram is royalty from nearby land that fled to Ravensrock to escape a murder or treason charge. Nice. That's cool. Awesome. And that's the thing, man. You're taking stuff for your campaign, you throw it in here and giving it substance with in the writings, which is awesome.
I would say about it's probably like a 60-40 split, as in 60% of what is in the book is actually inspired by or based off of actual things, and then 40% of it, most of all of that came out of the Return to the Bandit Kingdom stream that I did, and all the prep and
awesome
whatnot.
Once again, 3 giveaways, 2 in PDF of Bill's Raven's Rook, which is what we're looking at right now, and then I'm going to send this out. So You Walk Into a Tavern, which is a recent 5e publication. But it's not. It really is. It's neutral. It goes with rumors and who you meet and things like that. So it's kind of cool. Something different, which we've never given it out before. So there'll be the 3 things we give away. We're almost to a hype. Someone throw us a cheer or something. We get a hype train rolling. All right. So Mike, we're up to you, Mike. What do we got? I'm just gonna throw this on this screen here for now. There we go. What do we got for you?
So
Thanks,
there's Treasure's a Greyhawk.
Oh yes, Treasure's a Greyhawk. One I don't have up on the screen. Let me put that up, Mike. Awesome. Yeah. That I should have. Oh my gosh, that is a great one. I know which one. Go for it, man. What page?
So that I don't have. But I'm talking mainly about there's 2 adventures in there that are set in Hold of the Sea Princes.
Ooh.
You got Terror in the Tropics and On the Town.
Yes. Thanks.
And these have some taverns involved. I believe in one, let's see, Terror in the Tropics, that PCs are supposed to meet at
Turn of Tropics, page 41. Yep.
Supposed to be meet at a place called the Warship.
Yep.
So that's.
Ooh, I like the sound of it. Isn't that the one? It's in an actual ship, right?
I think so.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if the adventure actually takes place in this place in here. They're just references.
Yeah, that's true. They are references. Yep.
Like. And then there's another one, a place called The Captain. And I think they're both like these rundown dock quarter taverns. In one of them, you like meet with Prince Gian in the cellar. So it's just interesting that you're meeting at the inn. These are how you start adventures. But what I found interesting about Terror in the Tropics, at any rate, is that Prince Gian he invites the heroes to the Hold of the Sea Princes, and he doesn't meet them in Monmouth, the capital where he rules.
Right.
He says he has them meet at Jetsam Island at one of these taverns, and it's like all in secrecy for some reason. Which I'm not sure is fully explained.
He doesn't want people seeing him associate with the riffraff.
Maybe. So he meets with the PCs in a cellar, and it's kind of the same setup for the second one. He wants the PCs to go, and this one is set in Monmouth, though.
Which one's
I think
that
they want this would be On the Town.
Okay.
So On the Town, they want. He wants PCs to go after this missing sword that belongs to his family. And I think so. Like I said, I can get my taverns crossed, but these two adventures are supposed to like run back to back. Where
Yeah,
Galen's hiring them to do his dirty work for
for
him.
ninth level too. They're ninth. So they're
Yeah.
good. I've never run them, but everything in this book is good.
I recall running them, but like I said, there's not a whole lot to go on about the businesses themselves. It's more just the setup for it. I thought was kind of interesting that you're meeting the ruler of a country, and usually with these old Greyhawk adventures, it's like, oh, the king of Keelan is, brought you to his throne, and he wants you to go, kill some giants or something.
Yeah, you at least get to meet him in the throne room normally.
Yeah, you're not meeting him in the bottom of a wine cellar.
Hey, we all remember Knight's Tale, where the prince shows up and he's in he's in the stocks, right? Come on.
as he should be.
Excellent ones, Mike. Obscure,
Yeah.
but
Very.
known to you for sea princes, which is great. And
Yes.
and you've shown two fantastic. Which, and if someone wins that, one night, I always have Trevor's of Greyhawk. So it creates a really cool vibe. Norker, I think this is the one you gave me next. And look, I just snipped this right out of Discord. The Horn and Haunch. So this is from Saga of Old City. Right? Gallner told Gord that the Horn and Haunch was the best tavern in the whole urban area, not just, oh my God, where was it? This is the most pleasant gathering places I've ever frequented, said Geller. Even well traveled, Geller recommends some of the dry white wine from Furundi to begin with. After several goblets, more of the crisp apple fragrance wine was poured. For them as their host set up a pewter silver. I cut half of it off, the back off. So really cool. That yes. So if anyone can tell me, this is north, right? This is not in Greyhawk, but this is an inn that's listed where Gordon and Geller are talking in the Saga of Old City book, and I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah, the novels is definitely an area that I'm not up on when it comes to Greyhawk lore. But I know from reference in the encyclopedia researching this topic, apparently there's a lot of inns and taverns in the book Knight Errant.
I heard
that makes sense.
Yeah,
because that's a bunch of short stories, and I bet
a bunch of them. I'm telling you. So I don't know if they're just like names or I don't know.
But what's cool about this is that this is proud of me for someone in the audience, and thanks, Bloodwild. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. As we keep on, it sounds like place should not exist, but it does. One of those secret little hiding places out of the way where it is, of the highest quality. So I wanted to share that with you all, that the audience provided that to me, and I really appreciate it. So, Will, do we go back to Ravensrook, or do you want to talk about something else? It's up to you.
I've gotten a couple of different ones.
Okay.
So I didn't seem like I was just simply plugging my book.
Well, that's okay. I didn't.
I have The Hanged Man.
Yes.
Which is in Greyhawk.
Yes.
Right? And it's got its start as the old jail for Greyhawk, where prisoners doomed to be executed. This is the building that they spent the night in before they were hung out and put on the hanging tree.
Is that in the old city? Is that an old city?
It's in the let's see here, hanging tree in the low market, but it's in the thieves' quarters.
Yeah, the old city then. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know which letter it is, but I know it's in here. So,
and it is the notorious place where thieves and assassins and all of those shady ilk go. Although there are merchants T25 and nobles who go there to just to say that they went, which it seems pretty stupid in my opinion. But it's like, all right, if you want to go and rub shoulders with some of the people who might kill you to take your money, by all means.
The manager of the inn is Kim Ward, a friend and lieutenant of Thief Guildmaster Organization. It's run by the Thieves Guild. In general, this inn is a safe place to visit, but a customer who goes out of his way to be obnoxious or vain will quickly become the butt of practical jokes and ridicule. There you go. That is a good one. I want to throw up one that is real close by to that, if I can find it here. And this is one of mine in my game. So I don't think Bill and Master Crafter's on, but yeah, he is. Okay, so nearby to that, if you know any of our lore, we have a group, the Iron Brigade, which is our highest level group. It was our first like Greyhawk adventuring party, and they ran expeditions to ruins of Greyhawk, and they've done all these. They ran Return of the Eight, did all these really high level adventures. The Gold Digger Tavern, which is on the main strip coming in from the southern gate in the old quarter. It is a raucous establishment, primary guiding place for dwarves in the old city. Well, to Trevin, who's the highest specialty priest of Tritharion in my campaign, and Brolin, who's a specialty priest of Clangeddon, dwarf, and they're best friends. And now they're in Norwell now, Trevin's Hall of Heroes, but during their growing up days, they stayed at the Gold Digger, whereas all the rest of the Iron Brigade stayed near the market, the main Grand Bazaar market. And they would tell stories how their arms got cut off, how their knee got split, and how I lost 12 teeth. They would just tell the stories of all their injuries, and it was fun. It was a good time.
That's a great name for a tavern, though.
Yeah,
the Gold Digger. Yep. That's really good.
And so Alex Tharnew is the Axel Tharnew is the proprietor, and chief barmaid is the halfling matron named Glenda Silvertoe. So it was a fun time, and yeah, we'll go back there once in a blue moon to talk up things in the Gold Digger, and that's right near not far from the Hangman in the old city. That's why I brought it up, because it was right here. Hey, thank you, Garner. So you try the Gold Digger was too expensive. I don't know about that. This tavern offers cheap rooms and meals. The beds are aren't longer than 5 feet, so it's a trouble for the humans.
Yeah.
So that's
I like that little touch.
Yeah, I really liked the place, and it was good to see you, man. So sorry for going out of order, but we were right there. Pick that one up. So
I could see having do they have dwarven drinking games in there?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, now that's awesome. Yeah. I like that.
and think about this: Greyhawk's not known for dwarves.
No.
Now, Gloretti Buchanan, the tax collector, is a dwarf, right? And he's an evil dwarf, but he gets the money.
Yeah.
But other than that, you really don't know too much on dwarves in Greyhawk. And this is kind of the dwarven hangout. So I'm thinking from the Aberals, they come here. They come here from the mining camps and all, and they tell stories. So it was perfect. And we'd always just sit there. Those two characters would sit there and just tell stories, and everyone would gather around, oh, you did this, yeah.
Dwarves tend to keep to themselves mostly, I think, because besides Iron Gate, I can't think of any city like major metropolis where there is a substantial amount of dwarves, right?
Oh well, yeah, Greyhawk, the capital of the Principality of Ulick.
Well, that's different though, because they got all kinds of demi-humans there. They're known for that.
But Navy,
I mean,
their navy's is mostly human, so right. So it's a mix of dwarves and humans in there. Yep.
But isn't the now I'm going to show my ignorance on this? Isn't the prince? Isn't he a dwarf?
True. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yes. We won't go into that. The rivalry.
I hear he's a great guy.
Yeah, the Prince of Ulick and the Order of Ulick do not get along. So. Yes, bud bugs and lice are therapeutic. Surely. Thanks, Varl. Yeah. Now as a protagonist making deals with Durgar. Ugh. We had that discussion the other day about Durgar and Darrow, how they're completely different. Durgar are evil dwarves, Darrow are humans that really were corrupted. So I found that interesting too. Mountain dwarves are insular. Mountain dwarves, in my game, mountain dwarves are in the Lortmill Mountains, and the hill dwarves are the southern ones in the Principality for the most part. So there you go. Good ones.
Makes sense.
Go ahead. Go ahead there, Mike.
Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. That happens a lot. So I don't know if I missed this. You were bringing up the Hangman and being, dwarven friendly. But the other dwarven friendly place in town would be the Barge Inn,
Yes, River
which
Quarter.
is
Which
kind
is
of in the
another
rougher
great
part of town.
name. Yes.
Yeah.
Right, there it is. R11, the Barge Inn.
So it's like it's also the River Quarter. River Quarter is a tough place,
I don't know
rowdy
if it's on this
place.
map.
But the book says it's like the largest inn
It's not on the
in that
R11.
quarter.
Not on that
Uh,
map. Okay. All right. Yes.
so it's
Thriving taverns of the Strip, a favorite of dwarven visitors to Greyhawk. Generally, about 50% are stocky demi-humans, rest of humans, city barge folk. So they say barge folk, they'll say Rennie here, but it's
Yeah.
mercenaries and sailors. That's cool. The barge inn occupies a commanding curve on the Strip as well. There you go.
yeah.
Brack
So I can
snagged.
imagine, like, when it comes to at least the dwarves of the city, wouldn't it be like which is the higher class? Is it barge in or hanged man? I guess hanged man's in
Well,
I
the
would
old
say the
city.
barge in is definitely a little
So
higher
so that's
class.
a higher class.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
But that's just me.
absolutely. Let me see. I'm going to attempt to do something I shouldn't do because you know me, I'm going to crash everything here. But I'm going to go and see if I can find. Let me go under my maps section because I have a small slither, but I don't know if I have the Greyhawk map. That's no. I thought I had the key map. I do have this one, but that you can't. That's too small. That one, the milder one. I don't have the key maps done up on here. I thought I did, but not there, so I can't show them. You know, because I do have a small key one of that area, but there you go.
So
So
the hangman is I'm sorry, that's like a rogue hangout.
Yeah.
And whereas barge in is not necessarily the rogue hangout, but it's
it's a
I think it's
dwarvish
like
river
sailor,
folk
the
and yeah.
roughneck
right?
thugs and things. Yeah, maybe not. But as we'll find out, because there's a lot of very well established uh, taverns and inns in the city of Greyhawk. There's a lot of places like that.
Yes.
A lot of barge folk, a lot of demi
Right.
places to go.
So
Well, when you're a city on the river, right?
absolutely nearby. Here's a slice that I wanted to show, and the barge in is R11, which doesn't show on this map, but also around here we do have some that do show. Let me see if any of these are all inns. Selzik is there. Thomas Rotek's warehouse. I didn't know if any of those. The River Rat. I think the River Rat's on here. R7. Yeah, there's the River Rat is right here, which is
Mhm.
a big one for Rennie, real big.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on this strip, here's the strip and the curve. So I think the bar, the one we're talking about, is up here, right at the top. But on this river street is one from my campaign, and it's called the Noble Pawn, which is right here. And that we did an adventure. I think it was adventure. It's going way back. It's in the 200s. The Noble Pawn disappearances and what happened. And here, I love chopping this color map up, showing the area of where all these inns are. I know this is hokey, and it's like, oh, there's not enough on there, but I thought it was cool that someone did all the artwork, for all of the
That is cool.
locales, and you could actually pinpoint these on the pictures. But I'm going to show you an old map. Here we go. No underlays. No underlays. That's how long ago this was. This building right here is the Noble Pawn on the street, River Street. And that's when I did it up. And this was hey Taryn, this is Adventure 831. So this is like one of the first 5 or 6 adventures we ever streamed. That's how old this was.
Oh, wow.
We did this adventure, yeah. And I don't have an insides for it done up, but they, of course, way back in the early days, the proprietor family was being held hostage, and it was being used as a front for Iusians, of course. And yes, and that's how that went. And then Galena bought them out afterwards, and now we have a player character who owns the noble pawn, and a lot of adventures start here in Greyhawk. It just makes sense for us to utilize something that we've developed on our own, and it's right in the thick of the River Quarter area. So something there.
Not surprisingly, because the city of Greyhawk is so central to everything and it's so well developed in publication. A lot of the like what you've done, a lot of the unique bars and taverns and inns that I've created have also been in the city of Greyhawk.
And that's the great thing. There's still a ton of room here. And look, if you look at Malden's version, Malden's map, Malden has his own, has a place for his own wizard in the town, and a lot of other places he developed and he added in.
The city spills out on the other side of the walls too.
Absolutely, it's just it's a wonderful undertaking. So just as we hit locations that are nearby, it's an easy pop up there. So Will, good one there. A couple real good ones in this area. The River Quarter. And if you run Greyhawk, you know that the River and Thieves Quarter heads are trying to oust Orgnention. It's a good subplot that starts right off, can really get you in Thieves Guild intrigue. So you're going to be doing a lot in it's called the Foreign Quarter and the River Quarter. So always a blast to adventure.
I always got a lot of mileage out of the Foreign Quarter because obviously when PCs come to the city and they want to get in on the politics and the business of the city, they're not citizens. So they got to live in the Foreign Quarter.
So. Nope. And if you want to know more about it, you should read the Gygax books.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Just to get a good feel for, the way the city breathes, so to speak.
Low Seas Tavern. There's a bunch in here. Note that Expeditions to the Ruins of Greyhawk, when they're in Greyhawk City, majority of it takes place in the River Quarter along the wall. The wall south in that River Quarter area. It's almost like in a crescent moon shape. That's where most of it takes place. So they added some locations in there aren't on here that were added in. The Wizard, the Kellick's Tower, the Pertrand Estate, which you can actually get in your adventuring, and also the Temple of Zuoken, the monastery where the monks are all in this section of the River Quarter. It's really good. Like I said, that's why I recommend it. They did some great work on it. So, Mike, you're up.
Well, now you got me thinking again about stuff that unique stuff that I create for my campaigns. And
please,
the first one always pops in my head. City Greyhawk was a place my friend Jason bought with his hard-earned Castle Greyhawk money called the Drinking Horn.
Nice. Where was it?
Horn. Because he's a barbarian from the north, so he named his tavern the Drinking Horn.
Nice.
Where was it? That is the question. I think it was in the Foreign Quarter, like I was kind of getting at. I believe it was near the pit somewhere. So if there's an empty building somewhere near the pit, that's where it was at. But what I liked about the Drinking Horn was what you were saying about the maps before. You could see the maps, you could see the overhead, you could see what the building looked like on the outside. And what he always liked to do back in the day when we had more free time was build the floor plans. So he drew the floor plans of the Drinking Horn. And I wish I had those,
I know.
But that was so fun back in the day. He drew every stick of furniture in that place.
That's awesome.
And it became integral to the game as we did more stuff in the city, because now that he's established and the adventures can now come to him.
So if we take a look at this, look at the size of the barge inn. Huge. All right, there it is.
Yes.
That is the noble pawn, right? That is the river rats. So there you go on these. And so you're thinking it's somewhere the pit is what number? You sure pit's F7 is it?
I don't have that
handy. The pit is. But you got all these open buildings right here in the Foreign Quarter.
He had a rivalry with Duke Garand, and I think by the end of it, his character also ended up owning the pit. it was like this intrigue that I had going on.
Rob, I promise to get to both of those. Promise.
Aha.
They're on my list.
Big Mac's got a good question about do you think that all the inns and taverns would be serving the same beer, or would they have exclusive import deals? I think that for the most part, the same beer could be had most places, but I definitely think that specific bars like the Barge Inn, with their connection to dwarves and stuff like that, yeah, they've probably got some choice brews in there for sure.
Plus
The
the river,
standout ones wouldn't have that.
the river,
Yeah.
the River Rat has Rennie, and they're all over the place. And if you
Yeah.
don't think the Garden Quarter and High Quarter establishments aren't serving something special, I mean, look
Yeah.
at the Star of Selene, right? All right, we should, yeah. Let's.
Another aside on that question
Please.
is if you go to the section on guilds and the Ostlers and Brewers Guild,
Oh, let's do that.
that might also have some information on whether or not they would have the same brews or not.
Okay, guilds and folks, feuds and factions. Let me see if I can scroll down there. By the way, we're not going to just stay in Greyhawk. We promise. It's just
It's
it's where we are right now.
On that about is
Here we go.
did you find it?
Yep.
All right, I'll save it.
Members in the Officers and Brewers Guilds open all innkeepers, taverns, brewers, and distillers. This is hey, Lord Whiskey. Well, Floofyberg. That's a great name. A fair proportion of membership are retired adventurers, the incumbent guildmaster. Few independent breweries and distilleries exist in the free city. The majority of brewing is done on the premises by the landlords of the respective establishments. Imported wines, liqueurs, and ales are obtained from the Merchants and Traders Union, and the guild will occasionally finance trading ventures to obtain bulk supplies of assorted alcoholic preparations. There you go.
Little column A, little column B.
Absolutely.
Sounds about right.
Good one. Viewers may run ale houses too. I think there's a lack of breweries located. I think there should be brewery.
I don't think there's a place that just does brewing.
Yep. Yeah. Good point. Good
point. And while we're on the topic of guilds, this guy right here, me, 20th level former innkeeper.
Nice.
So I know stuff about inns.
That's awesome. There's Tim. Brewers would be everywhere. Yep.
I don't know anything about Tim. So.
The ever mysterious.
Could not mix a drink in my life.
Well, that makes two of us.
Pete and John, by the way, Pete and John, who played Saturday, will be transporting a lot of these imported alcohols and wines all over with Pete and John's Teamster service, which is a universal name in my Greyhawk, fighting their Abel Carter coaching company, main rivals. So there you go.
We'll come back to brewers, though. I have another thing for my campaign that's
awesome
about brewery.
Very cool.
I got halfling bootleggers.
Oh, cool.
When I ran the Lukesh campaign, the Break Clan, the ever nefarious Break Clan was there, and they were bootlegging into the city.
Yeah. Is the slumbering serpent on any of your list? Where's that, Fuzz? It sounds very familiar.
Yes, I got that one.
All right, so Mike's got it. So there you go.
We have a request for slumbering serpent.
Yep.
All right, Orleans.
Oh,
it's in Orleans.
Oh, that's one of the two. All right.
It's the good inn.
Look at that. I opened right to the Golden Grain. Imagine that, Mike. I wonder why.
Wow.
Hey.
So there are two. Mike, you do the good one. I'll do the bad one. How's that sound?
Okay.
Did you have them both?
Yeah, I know about both.
All right, then go for it. Go for it. So the Slumbering Serpent, go for that. That's
sure.
up top.
All right. So the Slumbering Serpent is like the good inn in Orleans. It's smaller, and it's got this fancy sign of a sleeping dragon out front, and but compared to the Golden Grain, it's got better food and drink, obviously, and I think its main distinctiveness, according to the module, is that it has Coors branding, which is I like them kind of details, because Orleans in Grand March, right?
Yes.
So,
well, not mine.
I
have Lorraine. So,
Lorraine. Well,
so this picture to the right is the Golden Grain. To the left is the Slumbering Serpent on the table, just so you're aware. When I ran
Nice.
this 2 years ago, they're that close to each other in the game too. They're really close. All right,
Yeah.
so let me go back here to N1. Hit this up. Okay,
I've
so
never ran in one.
ah,
I I really need to someday, but I like that they give you the option of the bad end and the good end. Pick your poison.
so the Slumbering Serpent's run by Belba Kraloon and her husband Olwyn, and it's kind of a refuge place. Oh, Tim, are you here? Tim, let's talk about it the night at the Golden Grain with your barbarian.
Uh-oh.
So,
Tavern Tim.
tell us about the Slumbering Serpent a little bit, and then I'll tell that story. Yes. Orlean's great. Hey, David, good to see you. How was your trip? I know you were away for a while.
Hey, David.
Yep. There you go. On the Slumbering Serpent and it's not a lot on it. It is under Key to Orlean a little bit more. Yes. But Mike, they were a connection in the adventure. They knew the hermit, who was a high level mage hiding out here, that could help you. That was the connection there. Yeah. And they're not cult members. Sorry for the giveaway, anyone, if you've.
Spoiler.
But here,
what cult?
yes, exactly. But hey, I'm doing everything
On
I
the
can.
cover.
I'm doing everything I can to get Doug Niles on the show. All right, because this is his baby too. I mean, he's done so many great things. We're working on that. Ramsey, you got it, BB. This is a scene inside the Golden Grain that could happen to you.
Yeah,
Nice.
it is.
Yes.
Jim Halloway art. He's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of artist I aspired to be.
Yeah, he's hands down probably the most influential. I can say without a doubt, most influential artist on me that wasn't a comic book artist. So, and by far, and maybe the most influence on me artistically of any artist, even.
So, Mike, tell us about the Golden Grain a little
Golden
bit.
Grain?
Yeah.
Well, Golden Grain is, like I said before, it's the worst of the two inns in Orlean. Larger inn. And what would the fun part about the Golden Grain is that while it has poor food and drink, they're charging you higher prices like it's good. And I imagine if you're trying to pull that kind of wool over your players' eyes, you might lead to some interesting interactions.
Bar fight.
But I think then the module also mentioned something about how they try to discount the rooms and the drink because they want to lure some people in.
So here it is. It's cheap here. It's much cheaper than the Slumbering Serpent, and also they're all drugged. Everything's drugged here. It's all run. Look, it's cultists galore. All cult members, 3-4 of them in just the common room area.
That's a rumor.
Yeah, so it is. Really
That's a rumor started by the Slumbering.
The Slumbering Serpent.
Oh, look, this guy's actually an assassin class in here. Oh, it's great, man. I love this. Yes.
Spiced mead, yes.
So we went off on a tangent. They go to stay here, and Tim's barbarian, Zafnaf, who is a barbarian cleric, wants to celebrate his leveling up because he now got his first spirit totem he can summon. He goes, I want to go get a live pig and cook it outside. And they're all looking at him like, what are you, freaking crazy? Where are you going to go? So he goes to the farm across. There's actually a little farm set up across. He goes out there, and the cultists are like, this is great. They're doing this stuff for us. They're separating themselves. So he goes out there to go. They tell him, you can go kill it yourself. This is all live stream, by the way. You can still find this on YouTube. And he goes out there, and he's like, hi, and he's surrounded by cultists. And that's the last they see of Zafnaf until near the end of the adventure. Yes. Yeah, that was fun. So, yep. Zafnaf Panea. Jay was just being mean. Of course, I was just being mean, Tim says. Yes, a stupid farmer would not have done that. They were all cultists. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, clubbing. Yeah, what a great adventure. Not for the starting DM. Let's be honest. Run Hamlet, Saltmarsh, Bone Hill. This is not the first one if you ever want a DM to start with. It is very complex, and you want to give it its due by running it with all the intrigue that it deserves. So an excellent one. I'm a cultist, Tim says. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
easy to party wipe in that thing too. So
Really easy to party wipe in this one. Well, not, and they wouldn't be wiped. They'd all be.
well, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So a great adventure and a good one there, showing both of those. So let's go. Rob, you had a request. So real quick, we'll go here, and everyone knows the end of the Welcome Wench, right? It's the first inn that you come across. It has also probably the largest out of all the
Omelette.
published menus, right? That you see. Yeah, Guy just went in depth on here.
Yeah, having reread
It's
it
like
recently, I'm
Hamlet
surprised.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a template. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like the whole adventure.
I'm
So-
shocked there aren't more inns as well written out as that.
And we still use.
I definitely didn't.
Celine Ruby Red from this adventure is a staple, and we've developed a whole background on where it comes from, and and we from this adventure. So you got all your other Ulic elixir liqueur. Sounds really cool, right? It doesn't say what Ulic. It probably comes from the duchy. I don't think it comes from the Dwarvish Principality, but that's a great thing. It's and there's it's what's his name? Osler Gundagut, isn't that his name? That's the proprietor here. So everyone knows the end of the Welcome Wench, and it's a great one to start with. But one of my favorite pictures, and I showed this on the ad for this, and this is also showing
He
that
opened it shortly after the Battle of Emerdy Meadows.
Yes, he did.
So your guys could have been up in there, as some of the very first customers.
Probably were, because there weren't many adventures that we had, Will. And so we probably were there like 12 at different times. The first generation of our adventurers.
Just defeated evil.
Just
Time
defeated
for a
evil.
drink.
And by the way, as I said earlier, John killed everyone in Hamlet. I kind of retconned that out. I was like, John, hey, I'm glad you did it in yours, but I can't have that happen in mine. Where are White Claws made in Greyhawk? Sounds like a Rondel beverage. Does it? It sounds.
I heard they are made in the Burning Forest, but
Yeah.
what do I know?
I'm thinking the Theocracy of the Pale. That's
another good option.
Pale ale.
Right. Yeah.
So this is our favorite baddie location as you come down here into Nulb that Rob brought up. And here you go, the Waterside. And they call it a hostel. And you just get that
it's hostile.
like the movies. Oh no. Yes. And look, they just call them wenches here. They just say, and they are baddies. Of course, they are part of the river pirates. So definitely and the detail is not anywhere near as much as it is in the Welcome Wench, but this is, you got some pictures, and you can have, like I said, Null Bowling has a few locations that are set up, but this is a good one. And remember,
It
Anna.
says
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I think in the module it says that Nulb, the Waterside would have comparable stuff to the Welcome Wench, to save space on typing. It's just cheaper, cost, value, or whatever.
Note, Anna has gone to the lengths of the earth to figure out whose heraldry this is. Right? I think she did it up on a map.
On the back of the wall.
Yeah. She was intrigued by that. Definitely a true den of scum and villainy, right?
And ask Larry Elmore.
Yeah. She did ask him, I think, during that one time we had him on.
I think so, yeah.
And
or at least they talked about it.
And he wasn't sure. He said he just made it up because it needed some. But that's a great picture. That's such a great. I think this is one of the best busy bar scenes there are in Greyhawk mapping in the early days. So, in the adventures. So, and there is another tavern here as well. Yeah, there is. There's another one in Nulb. There's Mother Screng's Herb Shop. The Boatman's Tavern in Nulb Market. It's just a warehouse building. So it's as cheap as the bars, the worst at Hostel, and the place is even dirtier and rougher. So there you go. Yeah,
People are
Skull.
known to disappear at that white at the waterside.
Yep. But another good one. Yeah, it's a great pick, Tim. Absolutely. Good one there for the audience. The last two, N1 and T1 through 4, both of them I had up, and so we'll count them as mine. So Will, you are up.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's go back into Raven's Rook, inspired by Rook Roost. And for all those who don't know what Rook Roost is, that's the unofficial capital of the Bandit Kingdoms. Mm-hmm. So this one here, it's not really an inn. It's more of a restaurant, but the common room does allow people to stay in it overnight because the establishment is open 24 hours. So you got the Green Egg Inn.
Page?
Has a reputation, is on page 59.
Okay.
Has a reputation of being a fine inn, accepting everyone who can behave themselves, but is widely considered the best restaurant in the city. The place is packed from sunup to sundown, and like most common houses, remains open for business after hours. But the front door is heavily guarded. The Green Egg's main claim to fame is the menu, which has the widest selection of things to order. Ravensrook imports nearly all of its food stuff, and because of this, stocks are never reliable or the same day to day. Because of this, cooks at the Egg have been experimenting with new dishes for 30 years, which is how long the Crabden family, Wiley family, another thing of
Gnomes, more gnomes,
has
yes!
owned it.
Awesome.
Now, I don't go into anything more about the family owners besides that little drop right there on those guys.
Okay.
So.
And look, and you got that in the, this is in the other loop. Here you go, 28 up here.
Yep,
cool.
All over on the map.
So, what's your venture groups and all your ventures you did here? Where was their go-to?
Yeah. They never really, if they were to go to anywhere, they went to the Green Egg more than they went to any other place, because of the simple fact that the Green Egg was accessible. They could rent a room, they could do their business, and so they had several meetings here and what have you. Now, you have to remember, when they were here in Ravensrook, or when they were in Rook Roost in the show, their whole thing was they were trying to stir up instability amongst the Iusians who were, had taken over the place, and
so they weren't hanging out just having breakfast.
No,
in the morning.
Yeah, they were more on the down low on their stuff. But when they would do things, they had several meetings that took place inside the Green Egg. Very
cool. Awesome one. Okay, so next we go to, I'm looking for my, I don't know where my stuff is. Mike, what do we got?
All right, hey. So first thing I want to get out of the way is this book right here.
Yes.
Has many inns and taverns.
It does.
But they're just names.
For the most part,
so
yeah.
It's easy to get distracted by those. So second, back to Treasures of Greyhawk. I finally figured out what I was trying to find. So the warship is where Terror in the Tropics starts, and then the PCs are led to a better inn later called the Captain. This is all on Jetsam Island. The second module is on the town, and that's the one that's set in Monmurg. The inn in Monmurg is called the Weary Traveler, and there is quite a bit of I think there is some action that's set in that part of the module.
Yeah, it is. Here, the Weary Traveler. William of the Axe is there.
That sounds like a sweet dude.
With thugs.
It's the best inn in the Dock District. And what goes on there? Well, that's part of the adventure, of course. But needless to say, when I read that, it got me thinking how in all the Sea Princess stuff I've ran, I've never created my own inner tavern in the Hold of the Sea Princes, which is rather shocking. So
Okay.
might be something I have to rectify.
So okay, yeah, good. It's if you don't here's what I find, and I do this all the time, Mike, and you probably do the same thing, Will. You bring up a name of some place and you're there one time and it gets
and then it's
lost in
forgotten.
the ether.
That's true.
You know, and that's okay. But with me,
something that lasts.
right, and that's why I got Greyhawk, 4 places: Greyhawk, Hardby, Narwhal, and Altamira, all with repeat adventures and locations, um, which makes it fun. And let me see if I can bring up.
And never get rid of anything.
Never throw anything out.
Keep it.
Keep it. Always keep it. And I'm looking here. That's the wrong city. I thought I had. Let me find Hardby here. So with Hardby, we have mostly. And if you know anything about, there are two go-to places for Hardby, and it's a hybrid. And I want to show you this map. This is actually on two separate pages, and I finally put it together. This is from Earth Journal, I believe 10. All right, and notice I have this all color coded. And with that, then you go over to here, and here's Hardby from that our Brit friends did, right? Stuart and crew and Paul Luby and all. And this shows locations, and here's the only locations on this map from the Living Greyhawk version of Hardby. And you can see there are a lot of locations on this as well. But I found you have a couple, right? You have the Mistresses of the Coach Inn, you know, and you have what's the place with the cursed idol in it? It's here too. Oh God, is that I always forget the name of it.
Idol?
Yeah, the idol.
All I can think is Indiana Jones.
The spotted cow is here.
The spotted cow.
Yeah, you got that one down on your list there, Mike?
Yeah, you know what I found is that the spotted cow is actually in a module, a polyhedron module.
Oh, is it?
Yes, polyhedron 92. If anyone wants to look it up.
So, very cool. Here's a spotted cow. The hostelry is well known in the Dock District and in the city as a whole. It's the best inns in Hardby. All right, so it's run by Oramel Thelk. Unknown to Thelk and many of the previous owners, the spotted cow was built on the site of an old shrine to Ralashaz. So Eric Mona would fit in real well there with Venarium Vord, the brass
Wonder
monk.
what kind of beer they serve there.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I imagine that's where they got it from, right? Yeah. So, but that is only on this map, this part of it. And if you go, I want to see if I can bring this up, and you really want a ton of inns. I mean, I just so many that they're marked. By the way, they're orange. Inns and bars on this map, on this version, are orange, and very few of them cross over with the inns and maps of the other one. And I had a field day. You have down here the Southern Point, as you can see, right at the bottom, where a lot of our adventures start. Right there, the Southern Point, and you have some other locations here in here. And I've run a lot of adventures in these, and also out in this area here. And I think it's not marked on this map, but one of the other ones is our only home brew inn. There's actually two. One is not used anymore. In this area, in the Bonded Barrel Ghetto area, I did the Stargazer's Retreat, which was closed, and it was a weirdos that said, let's have a bar and have an observation deck on the top. Is that a cool idea? Sure, but it didn't make much sense for Hardby. So you actually have a telescope there, and they look at it, and that's owned by one of the adventuring groups. The other one is, and I got a picture of it, live. Hopefully, I'm sorry, I'm babbling here. Skeet, and they all look the same. But there is Tom's halfling Skeet, and this is Skeet's hideaway. He has his own inn within Hardby. Found that the basement actually attaches to a one-way portal that they don't know. They took it once and they didn't know. They're like, how the hell do we get back? So, and it sent on a series of adventures. Of course, it's always got to have something. But there you go, Skeets' Hideaway, and we'll be back on that. I think I ran that like adventure number 970. That's how long ago that was. But Harvey's great for so much.
There has to be
nice
an absolute ton of taverns from the Living Greyhawk era.
Oh, absolutely. That we don't know about.
Right. And I was looking through for some like interesting taverns and whatnot. And there's one called the Ugly Mermaid. And it's part of this adventure series. Now, the adventure it comes from is called A Fistful of Beer. Okay. Here's the description. Check this out. Tell me if this doesn't sound fun. A candidate has petitioned the venerable drunken masters of Keeland for induction into their order. In order to do so, they must survive a night of revelry. Of course, no man drinks alone, and he has been requested to have his favorite group of wingmen on tap. Along the way, they find they are not the only ones in town to celebrate a Keeland special mission adventure. But
Sounds
I guess there's
is that a LARP?
Well, no, it's like I think it was because there's a number of adventures in it. I was able to find out a little bit. It's like I think it's like a pub crawl with a number of different ones.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, the Drunken Masters of Keeland. I mean, that alone, I need to know more about this.
We discussed them on the Living Greyhawk show a couple. Keeland
was that one on there?
Oh, yeah,
have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, Dave Guerreri and all. Oh yeah. So yeah, they had a monk group. Because it was 3 states and they were highly dense states, Dave said they didn't get along. I can see that. Right. We talked about that at the beginning. The Philadelphians aren't getting along with the New Yorkers. Just not, right? And then you have the Western PAers, all the Pittsburgh people, and it's South Jersey.
Yeah, but they're Steelers fans, of course you know.
So people just, I can understand. So there was a lot going on in those 3 states that they made all of Keeland. So they have some great background. Yeah, but that's a good one. Yeah,
I'll have to go back and watch that one. I watched that, but a lot of these I watch while I'm working. Yeah, well, I should say I listen to them while I work, and so sometimes I miss things.
It's okay, but it was a real good discussion, and
that's worth going back and listening.
And I have the Meta-Org group too, and I'm positive that the Drunken Masters are in there.
So, well, I know one of them's got a thing about there's a monk that was kicked out of his order because he drank too much, and I think he's the main like NPC for this string of adventures. Is this dude? So
the stuff that there is such great content that we hope does not get lost to time, and that's one of the reasons why we do these Living Greyhawk shows is we try and get as much out as we can,
right? So
it's documented. It's only a brief blur, but there's Sign of Tarnished Idol, Keg House, and Hardbeat and Dungeon 109. Sign of the Tarnished Idol. Okay, yeah, and that is it. That is I can't remember the name, but it's like it is the Tarnished Idol has all this taboo about it, Rob. Let me see if I can find that in the Hardbeat because they're going to have individual pages. I'll keep looking while the rest of us go about with others. So, Mike, you want to go next?
All right, guys. Before I forget, I'm going to go back to an old one from our campaign.
I did find it.
So I had this City Greyhawk, as always. That's where all my favorite urban campaigns are set. I had this evil group.
Nice.
Called the Brewsters.
The what?
The Brewsters.
Okay.
Yeah, they were members of the Ostlers Guild. And this was back 3.5. We were using the Book of Wild Darkness, the whole 9 yards. And I can't remember where their tavern was. I imagine it was probably in the slum quarter or somewhere, out of the way. But they had I don't even remember the name of the tavern, but it doesn't matter. It was probably the Brewster's Pub or something like that. And so like I said, this was an evil group, and one of the things they did was they made their own beer, ale, or whatever. It was called the Blood of Heroes. Guess what
like the movie.
secret? Guess what? The secret ingredient was.
Blood from heroes.
Nice.
Probably, yeah. So it was quite a interesting time. The campaign they only got up to about 6th or 7th level, and then I kind of lost my stomach for how out of control they were getting. And anytime they would ask later, what's the Brewsters up to? What were they doing? I'd be like, oh, they're all dead. I'm like,
Yes.
what? They're all dead? Like, oh yeah. Your other characters would have hunted them down by now or something. I just
that's the thing is that people got tired of his shit.
the Circle of Eight took them out. Yeah, it's just like, come on, these guys were so vile. There's no way they would survive in the City Grove. But yeah.
But that's generally the fate of just about every evil campaign. It's like
it's gonna end sooner or later.
Yeah, I find it interesting that that's the course they went. Let's open a pub. Let's make beer out of people's blood. They were just like, okay.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Garner, the end of Welcome Wench is only in Hamlet. It's the only place it's in. Exclusive to Hamlet. I did find the tarnished idol in that hard B. So we'll go to that real quick. Talk about that. The sign of the tarnished idol is a seedy, rundown keg house in a back alley close to the waterfront. From the rotting straw on the floor, that sounds gross in itself.
Yeah. I can smell it.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the place? You might know of it, Jay. There was was it the Ground Round? The old restaurant.
Oh, the peanuts all over the floor.
Yeah, the peanuts and
peanut
stuff.
Ground rounds,
yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, all over it. Yeah, the ground rounds were great though. In Jersey, at least, Monday Night Football nights, it was like 10-cent wings.
Oh wow!
Oh my God! Great. I mean, we got and the beer was cheap. So back in the day, we had one in Deptford, and just. Wings and beer, yes, all night.
Yeah, that's a good time right there.
Yeah, Rob, from ground rounds were great, man. At the end of the day, peanut shells soak up the beer and blood. That's
yeah.
Yeah. The end of the Welcome Wench, Garner, is the end. It's the inn that every other inn is based that you compare it to, because it's so well done. So this place, Rugra, a female half-orc cleric of Camazotz, which I love, the bat god. They pull something right out of the old deities and demigods, right?
That's good stuff.
Yes, right from Tomokan. So most companies use the midnight service. So there's an idol here devoted to Camazotz, the evil lesser bat god of Ulman underworld. All right. Ruger has become a devotee of Zotz and has been granted divine spells. It was she who dealt with the Keelander, summoning a server to her master Brennan and revealing her secret. There you go. So some good backstory here with that. Neat stuff. Rob, good one. Do we mention the comeback in? No.
That I have that down.
All right, so Will, let's do it. Come back in.
I read. Now, how true this is, I don't know. But in the initial playtest, when Arneson came down to run D&D for Gygax, part of the adventure took place at the Comeback Inn. So theoretically, it is the oldest inn in Dungeons and Dragons history.
Okay.
Would be the Comeback Inn. Now, the Comeback Inn is in, of course, Blackmore.
Yeah.
So this is where it starts to get a bit fuzzy in the fact, because Blackmore in Greyhawk, it exists. There it is. But then Blackmore also exists in Mystara, and that's where you get the majority of the information about it. But the inn itself was also in, let's see here, it's also in the first fantasy campaign that came out, which I do believe that's from who did Dark Tower? Yeah, who did Dark Tower again? That was
Jackways?
No, but the company. That was
Judges Guild.
Thanks. I think I think it's Judges Guild, but I could be wrong about that. But the first fantasy campaign was Arneson's game that after he left D&D, he published. So it's in there. It's in DA1 Adventures in Blackmoor.
Okay.
And it is given quite a bit of description there.
Very
now
cool.
the big thing about the comeback in is the fact that once you go in, you can't leave.
It's Hotel California.
That's right. If you go out the front door, you come in the front door.
Oh my.
It even goes so far as to explain if you were to go climb out and get up onto the roof and then jump off, you'll magically fall into the common room inside of the inn. So thus the comeback in. The only way to get out, the only way to get out of the inn is someone has to pull you out. So if you want to get out, you stick your arm out or your leg or whatever out the door or a window. And if somebody's on the other side, they can grab you and they can pull you out of the inn. Now, the thing that's funny, I find, about this place is you would think that whoever set up this inn will have set it up for, well, I guess maybe it does still work this way. Evil people and chaotic people cannot go into the bar. So chaotic as in chaotic as evil when you're talking about just basic D&D.
Right.
So basically evil people can't go into the comeback in, which I find but I guess if an evil person made it as a trap for good people, that's pretty good, right? So, and it's actually a focal point to those Darkmoor modules where you time travel, but that is all, none of that is set in Greyhawk. It's set in Mystara. But I would 100% put the comeback in Blackmoor in Greyhawk for sure, 100%. I just love the fact that is probably, well, it's no probably to it. That's the oldest inn in D&D history is the comeback in.
Okay.
So
you answered Garner Connecticut Gaming's question then, because he said was the Welcome Wench oldest. I said, well, I know Keep on the Borderlands is Green Man's older.
Yeah.
But that's even older to come back in.
Awesome. But I don't think it gives some well, I guess it talks about the NPCs in the Green Man.
Okay.
So, but
nice DA1. Yeah, I don't have that one in PDF, or I'd pop that up real quick. But that's a great one.
DA1. That's one I do have in PDF. But I mean, man, like just about everything that's
you can get them in reprints on Drive-Thru, I think too.
Oh, is it available now?
I gave them away once. I had Patrick got me all 4 of them, DA1 through DA4.
Oh,
I know I gave them away once.
The first one is the one to get because the first one's the one that has the information about Blackmoor, the town. The other ones start going into the Agakut and the City of the Gods and all that other different stuff, which I guess if you want that too, that's pretty good. But you could pretty much use that first one and you could take that information to put it into the Blackmoor in Greyhawk for sure.
Yep, they're all available on Drive-Thru, so you can get them. So,
cool.
Yep.
I'll definitely have to do that then. Must have physical copies.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, what do you got?
Well, let's go back to the City of Greyhawk for a bit.
I'm here.
So one of the things I liked about the City of Greyhawk box set is all the dragon inns.
Yes.
So yeah, everyone knows about the green dragon, but I actually got a lot of mileage out of the blue dragon as well. Interestingly, though, the blue dragon is known for being an imitation of the silver dragon.
Oh yes,
I think is like they're next to each other.
Aren't they?
So the silver dragon's a nice place, and the blue dragon's just copying everything they got. And
are they in the Garden Quarter?
The
gold dragon's in the Garden Quarter. The gold dragon's in the Garden Quarter. I always forget where they are. Maybe they're in the.
Blue dragon is
foreign.
Foreign
Quarter. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a knockoff of the silver dragon, which is supposedly the nicest one in the foreign quarter, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, like quite nice.
Yeah, here's a silver dragon. Silver dragon. This is the grand inn of the foreign quarter. Often the first place sought by new arrivals in the city. So it has three different restaurants on the first floor and in the cellar. Olaf Al Azul is an odd mixture of barbarian mother and a desert silk merchant father. So he sounds Beckloonish. Speaks the Dutch languages fluently. So that's the silver dragon. And then here's the blue. The owner of the blue doesn't have a lot of originality, but he knows what he likes, and he likes the silver dragon inn. That's
Yep.
F5.
Yeah. Love that stuff.
It's this. That's why I said this box set, and they did this in a weekend. They made this. I don't know how. I mean, they must have been really on the amphetamines a lot. But here's F2, right? Here's the silver dragon right on the main strip. Now, where the heck is F5? F4, 6. There's 5. Oh, it's right next. It's right down the road. So there you go. There they both are. Very cool.
Now in later campaigns, I think the ownership of the Blue Dragon changes, and I have it a little more upscale. And one of the fun missions I actually sent the players on that managed to keep them coming back to the Blue Dragon was someone, I don't know if it was it had to have been a wizard of some kind, but I can't remember if it was a friend or foe, geassed one of my more obnoxious characters to collect a flag from every country in the Flamis.
Oh my gosh.
And so they had to bring them back to the Blue Dragon. And, so in the bar, they had a flag from every country.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Just a little side quest thing.
Side quests are awesome. Let's talk about another one in Greyhawk in the Artisan Quarter. One of my favorites. It's called The Fat of the Hog. This neighborly, friendly bar is famous for its variety of pork. Waldo Pastiche, known as Wide Waldo. So there you go. Waldo's brother Ernest is the lord of the manor, a day's ride west of the Free City. Ernest Pastiche is focused the attention of farmers around his holdings into hog breeding. Nice. So there you go. Waldo also offers roast, bacon-wrapped delicacies, pungent smoked hams, his own invention, lard soup. That's A1.
Put the right seasonings in it.
Yes. There it is. Yeah, that's the fight of the hog, A2. Now, note the Malden map is much more well done up than this one here. Way more. Smoked ham. Yeah, it tastes like chicken there, Curtis. Or maybe not.
Smoked ham. Bacon.
Yeah,
bacon on everything. Yeah. Is there any other kind of pork? Come on.
So another really good one there in Greyhawk. Well, how much longer do we have you for?
You got me till the end.
Oh, good. Okay. So we're not Awesome. Good.
Have to run away.
Beautiful. Let's go to Leonard Lakofka land.
Yes. There you go.
In particular, let's go to Ressenford.
So I got a question on this then.
Yes.
So there's two Lendors in my opinion, right? There's before the Elvish invasion and then after the Elvish invasion, and you really have to choose which one you want, because this fits prior when it's basically
this is Leonard's
Leonard stuff. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
We are. I cannot have Leonard roll over in his grave. I don't want Leonard becoming a revenant and other stuff.
He's gonna start haunting you.
Yeah, just like Bigby's not turning into a gnome, so I don't want Rob Kuntz coming from Corsica to try and hunt us down because of this, because they turned one of his characters into a gnome. Just the same thing with Leonard. Give him his respect. On Lendor Isle was Leonard's baby, and what a great you got Garreton and Ressenford, and we have an inn here. Tim, does this bring you any flashbacks? I permanently killed off one of Tim's characters. Well, we brought him back. We brought him back for the kids' game, right, Tim?
As a zombie?
No, yeah. I was like, all right, we'll bring him back. So there was never an elven invasion. Yes, it's not the elven invasion you were looking for. A little general mind. This is the House of Abraham. Okay, so that's what Len Abraham DeFarman is his name. Good old Leonard. But it plays a main part of Assassin's Knot. And look at all these people in here. Residents, assassin. Oscar's a midget assassin. I guess you shouldn't say midget anymore either, Len. But there you go.
We folk.
Yeah, he wasn't even a halfling. Yeah, but just a great location. Here's a picture, another fantastic picture. Who did that? Is that
That looks like easily.
Easily? That's what I thought. I thought it was easily. Not forget the tip. Yeah. Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, exactly. An awesome zombie and vampire. That's L1. That's L1. That's Bone Hill. This is rated in the top 30 adventures of all time by the peers that were done in that dungeon magazine.
You need to get on Eric about that, about making the new one. He was talking about that. You guys were talking about that for a while, that a new one needed to be made.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're talking about top. Yeah.
The community should get together and have a big old vote.
Greyhawk.
There you go.
Well, we did do a top 10 list, didn't we? Our top 10 favorite Greyhawk adventures. We did do that on a recent thing, and we have Carlos come in on that one? I'm almost positive. Yeah. We did a little, but we should do a new top 30 of all time. I agree 100%. This was just such a great. Another one. If you're a novice DM, give yourself time to run this and really read it, because it is staged up. It's like chapters, kind of like every Ravenloft adventure was done in. But it is a wonderful story, and it is the second of three that got published by TSR by Len. And you have L4 and L5. But yeah, so but that's the end here, the end of Abraham. Notice that House of Abraham. Here is not a lot. Meals. It just says meals here. Ale, beer, mead, wine, and then Leonard going in his detail with everything. And every room is done by Len. Every single room in his doings are worked up. So there you go. That is a good one for Leonard Lakofka. I'll take that one off. Let me take that one off. I'll keep Hamlet up in case we need to go back to that one. Okay. Let me go to one more here. I want to note outside. So I think it's Two Ford. Am I right on this? The one with the peat bog beer. So there are a lot of locations outside of Greyhawk.
Missing this one.
Yeah, I don't want to miss this. I think it is. Let me see, the Plain of Greyhawk. Gargoyle Ice Cream Parlor. Yeah. Sour. Oh, there's Sour Load. That'll make Curtis laugh. Yeah. Graysmere, Elmshire. So there is a on the outskirts of in the plains of Greyhawk. There are a lot of locations. Western Plains. Here we go. Oh my God, where did they put it? There's a place where the peat is actually made into a beer, a dark beer, and I'll look for it as you guys are going. So who wants to go next? And as I try and locate this, Mike, you want to go, and then Will?
Yeah, that's works for me.
Alrighty.
Let's see if I can find it.
Shoot.
I can go if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll cheat and I'll do one out of the ever popular Ravensrook. You couldn't see.
Yes, I will bring that up. That's okay.
So this is page 61.
Right here. Yep.
This is in Outwall, so the outskirts.
There's two here.
The Last Chance Tavern and Inn.
Got it. Let me switch.
It's on the western road out of Ravensrook, heading into the Heartlands. And if you're not familiar, I do have to say for anybody who's new to just stopping in, Ravensrook is inspired by Rook Roost, the unofficial capital of the Bandit Kingdoms. heading into the Heartlands, run by a personable ex-adventurer named Chance Lucas. His place is considered the last chance to turn around before heading into Outlaw. Many merchants stay here while conducting their business at the bazaar, so they do not have to stay in the city. In addition to merchants, many adventurers making their way to Ravensrook stop at the last chance. Chance is known for being on good terms with nearly everybody in Ravensrook and is a friend of Alara Morningstar, that's the head of the Thieves Guild.
Okay.
Chance's connections are usually enough to keep the riffraff out of his place, and the guards he has on the payroll. So there you go. Nice. The last chance.
What about the Black Swan, which is on the same page?
The Black Swan. Well, okay, let's talk about the Black Swan.
Please.
The Black Swan's a good one. Okay. The Black Swan Inn is the most notorious inn and tavern in the city. The Black Swan is a place to go when you're looking to either join or recruit a marauding band for a raid into the neighboring kingdoms. Even before refugees and the war, the Black Swan was a place to find the roughest and meanest bandits and brigands in the city. The Black Swan is owned by a former half-orc brigand named Beltran and his partner, a half-ogre named Gevin. They employ a squad of roughnecks in addition to the regular staff and are known for their extra durable custom furniture, which that line right there almost got edited out. And
really?
And it's like, no, I have to keep that in. Because we did edit down the book for size and what have you, and I was like, no, because it says so much the fact that they have to have custom made durable furniture.
Yeah, because it gets broken.
Because the place is so rough and tumble.
It's like Roadhouse in the movie.
Exactly.
All the furniture's getting broken every night.
Yeah.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
I got to make up a Roadhouse. So yeah, Tom, you missed Skeet's Hideaway. We already did Harvey and Skeet's Hideaway. Just note you did. We showed pictures of Skeet as well. Thanks to Gaetano, we weren't far off. I think I'm in the wrong book. I think I'm in the book. Am I in the campaign guide? Yeah, page 19. You said, right? You said 19. Page 18. Duh. Okay, here it is. I knew it was here. 18. Western Plains. No, I don't see it here. Page 18. Here it is. Okay, it's back. It's actually 16, but you're counting. It's on page 16, but you're counting page 18 of the PDF. Peculiar Manor. There it is. So, Sandra, all right, so this fortified manor house incorporates a very fine hostelry and good stabling with rudimentary wharfs for boatmen to tether their vessels and rest overnight during journeys. This is on the Sellentan, south of Greyhawk, north of Hardby. Peculiar Manor. Okay, so he is late 40s backloony. He shaves his head, save for a long, sleek ponytail, and oils it. Flamboyant, but here it is. Sandra's Ale, Old Peculiar, is brewed in cellars to recipe he says was given to him by an ancient Klatspur dwarf clan chieftain in return for some outstanding service. Old Peculiar is jet black and so heavy that some say it's best not drunk but eaten with a fork. It tastes like liquid. It tastes like liquid peat and is served in half pints, 2 gold. No one alive has ever claimed to have downed more than 2 pints, and only dwarves claim that. There you go. Sanjare boasts that if the crucial test of the ale's readiness is if a rat won't dissolve in a keg of it less than 5 minutes, it needs more fermentation. And that's right in from the ashes. Yep. I thought you would be bigger. Yes. We should put. No one's ever put. We got to put a Roadhouse location, and maybe I'll put one in Altamira. Just call it the Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Yes.
I imagine it being out in the middle of nowhere, though. Where you got to go. In the modern days, it'd be surrounded by, biker gangs and pickup trucks and stuff like that.
Very true. Good point there. But the Roadhouse, yeah, it was in some podunk town in Missouri, wasn't it? The original movie.
Right.
Yeah. So, Mike, what do you got now? You got something there?
Okay, so I got one more
Okay.
homemade inn. This
Uh,
is my big one that I was saving.
okay.
So the an inn that goes way back in my campaign, I actually did a write up for in Campfires called the Blind Billy Goat Inn.
The
Right,
Blind
Love
the
the
Billy
name
Blind
of
Billy
Goat
Goat Inn.
Inn.
The joke
Wow.
started wherever they were in a town. What's the name of the inn? And I would Blind Billy Goat. I just kept blurting out Blind Billy Goat. Well,
It
that
stuck.
proceeded on all the way to So they're in the middle of Kester, and they're like, "Is there an inn in Kester?" Yeah, there's only one inn, the Blind Billy Goat Inn. They're like, "What?" Well, now today it's probably the only Blind Billy Goat left. All the others were probably bought out. So on Cannon Fire, I'll try to post this here for you. I have an entire article I did way back when on the Blind Billy Goat Inn for a post fest. Oh yeah, shoot, 14 years ago.
Oh wow, it's in a post fest.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
there you go. Blind Billy Goat Inn, fully
There
Awesome.
was
wrote up.
something very similar. There was a fellow that I used to game with back in the day, Rob, and he always had the tavern was the Whistling Fish, right? And so then I took over the Whistling Fish, and that became like pretty much the same thing. If they hit me up for a tavern and I need it's a Whistling Fish. It's part of the franchise, which made it into the Mermaid's Blessing. So in the Mermaid's Blessing adventure is the Whistling Fish,
Nice.
and I have a picture of the tavern sign out front, which is a picture of a whistling fish.
Awesome.
So
That's really cool.
That's right, Gaetano. I came prepared. I was ready for this.
Excellent. So our latest in now, I haven't done Norwell yet, and there's some published source stuff we're going to discuss there, but I have this up. Our latest in is at Sojourn's Repose, which I've used in 2 adventures, and I said to Bill, and this is the setup, right? And this is the Maester / Sage's location right outside Altamira, and that would be this building here, right? And that's the one we're going to place, food and drink for travelers. And there's a close up of it. You'll see this again on Saturday. The adventure with Ed Greenwood and the Slavs starts here. All right, so you'll see this back on the map. And I said, we got to call this something, Bill. What do you want to call it? And he came up with the Nimble Quill because, yeah. So you will see. Is that a kiln? Yeah, maybe it is. Whatever it is, we're going to use it as an inn. So it could be. It could be a bread making location or whatever. But yeah, there's an insides to it. The Nimble Quill, it would be that location there. So, here we have that. All right. Now, Narwhal. There is, and I don't have this in copy, but you may be able to find this still. If you go to, I'm going to show you, it's a Living Greyhawk article, so you may be able to find it. I couldn't locate it. Under Narwhal Mysterious Places.
there you go.
All right, you may be able to still get this in the old 3rd edition era on the sites. If not, I can maybe scan it into a PDF. And there are a couple locations here. The one we're going to talk about is, and I use this, and you'll see this tomorrow night, the Sundered Spear. All right, and it's a really good location. The reason I like this is there's background discussed in the Sundered Spear. Now they all look the same here for me for the most part, but here's our adventuring group, and here's Falara, and right there, she is the proprietor. And the story goes on this, and like I said, from published source, one of the better, this tavern, one of the better ones in Narwhal, stands close to the Wayne Yard and merely caters to merchants, wealthy, visiting guildsmen, and adventurers, flush with coin from their latest exploits. Named after the Shining Spears, a group of adventurers dedicated to Tritherion, and known by Falara that group's only surviving member. That tavern is one of the safest places in Narwhal. So what I have here is if you are a worshiper and adventurer of Tritharion, your room and board is free here as long as Falara wants you to do something adventuring wise. She's going to send you off on it. And these are Narwhal Headhunters Initiates. And this is Lendara, which I think Enoch Pratt, Tim played this character a couple years ago in Virtual GradCon. That's Walt's character, and she is fronting as a barmaid there, but actually secretly working for the headhunters to get information. Because everyone thinks the Baron is corrupt. So there you go. And that is the Sundered Spear, which is you can locate. And if, like I said, if we can't find this, I will be more than happy to scan this old article in and PDF it for everyone because it was published source. So a cool place. I made another place up called the Quill and Inkwell Inn in Narwhal, not far away, to have a competing inn. So there you go on Narwhal. Some nice stuff. Are you guys going to eat drummies while you game this weekend? Well, remember this, Baptized. This is going to be just me at the table, and everyone else is going to be remote. So it's not going to be like last Saturday where we're all sitting around with my friends. This is going to be Ed and group coming in. I'm going to have 7 people logged in, so I'm going to be moving everything myself. So be a bit of a challenge, but it's always fun. All right, let's do another round here. Will, what do we got to finish us up here? And we'll take some.
I have from Dungeon Magazine number 4.
Wow.
Quattro. There is an adventure, and it is not Greyhawk.
Okay.
But it's not Forgotten Realms either. It is generic. You can drop it in anywhere. And it is Trouble at Grog's. Let's see. I think it's on page 41. And it's basically a Grog, a half-ogre, came to a town and opened the Happy Half-Ogre Inn and Tavern. It's a first level quest, and I think that's detail easy art, but I'm not 100%.
Well, what's that? Is that diesel? Is that what is that?
I can't tell. I don't that looks like a bee or whatever, but it looks like detail easy.
Okay,
but who knows? I'm sure it's somewhere up in the art in the credits for the magazine. But it's a good little. I like this sort of thing because it's in a little town. It's got something there. I like these adventures that could be the start of your campaign. This could be where you go, you have a little adventure that happens in the town, and then you can use that as a base of operations for moving out from and getting into other adventures and stuff. The cool thing about this is it is a very half orc, half ogre, very like humanoid and whatnot. Not evil, but they're friendly to all different walks of life of characters and what have you.
Artwork Daniel Horn, cartography Diesel. It says right here.
Daniel Horn. Okay, there you go.
Well, it has that gives you the half ogres a way to generate them in this too, just like from Roger Moore article. So very cool, man. And it's first level, so you can start off. You can set it anywhere.
It's got good maps. It's you know, and it talks about the town. So granted, there's not much on the town besides that, but you know, that's good for giving you an opportunity to go ahead and flesh it out, and you know, you've got something to go off of. See, it's got a map, but it doesn't have much but like a paragraph of stuff. So it's sort of like just like with what's its bucket? I just lost Hamlet. You know, it's got a lot of information there for you, but it doesn't have everything. Fiction. It's not overpowering. You know what I mean? So that you could take it, you can change it, and you can make it into whatever you want. So I like these kind of adventures quite a bit, you know, especially, you know, for starting off. So
that's awesome. Very, very cool. I would have never wouldn't have never gone to this. That's fantastic. Great catch on that one. Yeah, and it's man,
Yeah.
wow, and there's a there's a town too,
Yeah.
Dagger
Mhm.
Rock.
Is that yeah.
You can place that anywhere.
Yep. And that's the beauty of it. It's not like specific unless there's a dagger rock that I am unfamiliar with in the Forgotten Realms, which is very possible. I mean, everything's in there and the kitchen sink, but I don't think it is. I think it's generic on purpose, which would make sense because this is early dungeon. Early dungeon stuff was supposed to be kind of generic just for that purposes. So I think we're safe to say that
I think this is. I don't think it's great. It's definitely not placed in Greyhawk. I don't think it's great placed. Wow, this is long. Holy jeez, it's long.
Yeah, because it's like the back half of the magazine.
Yeah, great one, great catch there. I've never run it, and Mike, have you ever seen this before?
No, never seen it.
Grant and David Boucher, whose first module appeared in Dungeon 1, are now students at the University of Florida in Gainesville. Not anymore. David still likes half workers and looks forward to being paid for this module. All right, cool. That is an awesome one. Well, thanks.
Maybe when I start running my Greyhawk campaign again, I'll start here. That's a good thing. Maybe I'll do that.
That definitely got me thinking that I didn't really think of looking at dungeon magazines. So I imagine there's some taverns and inns in
Oh yeah,
Savage Tide and Age of Worms.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the most notorious one is that James Jacobs adventure, right? The one with the succubus running things. Oh my God, what's that one called? The one that had a warning label on the adventure.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
but yeah,
awesome.
Porphyry House Horror.
House.
Yeah, that's in Scuttle Cove. Is that one in Scuttle Cove? I think. Yeah. That. Oh man. Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. It's in Scuttle Cove. Yeah. Thank you, Norker. Yeah, that is. And we'll talk to James on Sunday. We can ask.
I was just going to say that's coming up. Yeah,
that's coming up. So, Mike, what do you got? What do you got here in closing?
Yeah. So I got real quickly. I want to throw out Living Greyhawk Journal number 2.
Okay.
Is the one that comes with the Malden city map, right?
Yes.
This issue expands the city of Greyhawk outside the walls, like I mentioned earlier in the show. And one of the things that's on the key to the map that never got developed because the magazine never finished doing its survey of the city is a place called the White Dragon Inn. They kind of continued on with that thing. So outside the city walls is the White Dragon Inn. Actually, no, I take that back. No, it's not outside the walls. It's in the Thieves' Quarter.
So they never did that because they only did 2 articles on each of the others. Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they added the White Dragon Inn in the Thieves' Quarter. Yep. And I don't know why. I want to know what they had in mind for that. Now, on the outside of the city, I can't remember if there was any inns or taverns on the outside of the city, but as many buildings as they put out there had to have been, I would think.
There's a Brass Dragon Inn too. Is that already in there?
I think there was a Brass Dragon Inn already, yeah. The Shady Dragon Inn, that's a classic.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, awarded by Redcon.
What we need to do is have Malden back on because he may have it on his map.
You think he might know? Yeah.
Well, he may have done all these up and they just didn't make the articles because they only did the Artisan Quarter and what was the other quarter they went into detail on? They did Clerksburg, right?
The Clerk, yeah.
A and C are the only 2 that they redid on. Were these 2?
Is a shame.
It's a shame. Now, absolutely, that's the only 2 they got.
So the only other Greyhawk City inn and tavern I wanted to talk about because there's so many of them, but one of the ones that I used to use, I think this is like Slum Quarter, Old City Quarter, is the Left Hand Inn.
Yes.
Where if you can hit the bullseye, throw a dagger, hit the bullseye with your left hand, you get free drinks. I loved using that place. I just like the concept, and I've probably used variations of that over the years in my own stuff. Left Hand Inn.
Some are cool. Yeah,
that's a really cool. I love when they have those twists to it.
Owner, known as Mad Al. So, Left Hand is the original proprietor. Yep. Attack roll must hit armor class 4, but be sure to consider the weapon's handiness and proficiency with thrown blades. Yep. Wow. That's great, Mike. I never read into the details on that.
Oh yeah.
That's really good. Another great one. So if you notice, I kind of didn't talk about Altamira at all yet. Here's shitty map, right? So some of the locations that we know about in Altamira are legendary. And number one, this one's used on 2 channels. That's how big it is. And look, once again, they all look the same. That's the Salty Dog, right? If anyone wants to know, it's a Procol Harum song from the 60s. But the Salty Dog, run by Drake Need, Blue Box is running it in his Sunday morning game. He has the Salty Dog, and I've always used that for adventuring types to get together, and they all seem to go to the same place. That is the and the beer is pissy tasting. The Owlbear throw rug, yep, yeah, that's one of the cool things about it. But here, this is the Nerdy Guy group when they came in, and there'll be pictures for the Salty Dog coming up on Saturday. I'm not sure if they're going to start there. They're probably going to be in the Nimble Quill. And then Vineyard Gardens, which is the Ritchie one up in the center of town. You know, much nicer and higher end, and nice fires, nice food. But there's a scene for that. So there you go. There's 2 of mine. More of them to come. There are a whole bunch of them written up. There's the Violet-Eyed Lady. There is the Scintillating Scepter. Upstairs at Sam's, downstairs at Boyd's. There's a whole bunch of places that are written, that are part of the campaign lore, which we'll get to down the road in the box set. But that's some of the fun. That'll be ambidextrous time I'm healed up, but the left hand is my new favorite in name. Yeah, it's pretty good one. Definitely,
that's really cool.
Definitely,
I like it.
Thanks, Obsidian. It's being worked on. I've just been bombarded with real life work and other things, but we were getting to it. We're getting around to it. So. Questions from the audience, comments on any you want to see or talk to that we have not gone over, because we went over a lot of them. Some of them were extremely cool and surprising. They were all cool, but we got through a whole bunch. Just note, it's not hard to make up an end. Really not that hard. Razamataz, good to see you, and you're putting just in time as we have 3 giveaways going. Coming up, 1 hardback copy of your choice, but I think it's going to be, I'm going to give away. So because our discussion tonight is taverns and inns memorable of Greyhawk. That Return to the Moat House. There you go. From our year 2 VirtualCon. So you walk into a tavern, I think will be the hardback, and then Will's Raven's Rock 2 PDFs. I will need your email addresses if you win one of these to get Will to get you the code for Drive-Thru-RPG for that. So. Yep. Hey, Tino, good to see you. But Razzmatazz, thank you so very much. Please give Razzmatazz a follow over there. Razzmatazz, please.
So Norker asked if anyone put a tavern in their dungeon. Does having Vault of the Drow, taverns, does that count?
Of course it
That's
counts.
a whole city. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole city.
I know there's one. It's not Greyhawk, but there's one in the Mad Mage. Dungeon in the Mad Mage. There's a tavern in there somewhere. Mm-hmm.
I have, and this is funny, that on level 2 of my Wizard Stidge adventure, which was an ode to Tim's Wizard of Id, which Hawk and Gazumba went through, and I had Pete and John's Ale House. Back in the day, and it was like, what? You come in, and it's kind of like in World of Warcraft. There were inns like underground. You're like, why is this here? Right? It was a rest place. It was kind of like that. So
it's a checkpoint.
It was
so
a
you
checkpoint.
Can rest up.
Exactly. Pete and John's Ale House was at the end of the 2nd level of the Wizard Stidge.
Yeah, Skullport. That's all. Yeah, that's a whole
good one.
Town. Too.
I'm currently playing that on Wednesdays. We're trying to get to Skullport.
Yes, nice. Chris, do any of your inns have signature dishes or individualized food choices? Yes.
Oh, well, yeah.
The most legendary of them all. Gavin at Lord Peakshaven, the talk show, is based on Lord Peakshaven, an inn in Tringley, where we had our 10th anniversary Midsummer Festival once. It has Troll's Piss. Here's the thing with Troll's Piss. There are pictures on the wall, like the fuzzy pictures of the dogs playing pool, right, are on the wall. If you want to get your picture on the wall, you must down 3 Troll's Piss drinks. First roll, half your con save or you
Oof.
pass out. Round up. Second one, third your con save. So if you have an 18 con right now, that's a 6, right? 6 or you got to roll 1, 2, right? Third and final, quarter your con round down. No one has ever done it in the game. No one's been lucky enough to ever do 3 trolls pisses. So there you go. No kumquat dishes yet. They're coming in Altamira. Yes, Anna's amused by troll piss. So, yeah, and that's it. That's in Tringley, Lord Peakshaven. That the talk show is named after. Mike or Will, do you have any custom dishes or drinks?
There is at the Green Dragon. I personally don't, but at the Green Dragon, the kitchen specialty is Ouija, which I guess it's a bastardization of Ouija. Ouija's plate, a heaping bowl of undercooked sausage and soggy potatoes, large enough to please an ogre. It is now. Ouija is one of Rabelar's henchmen, as a half-orc henchman.
Yeah,
and it talks about he hasn't been seen since Rabelar was driven out of town.
I didn't.
But his
that.
dish lives on.
Well,
So yeah,
I already talked about the Blood of Heroes.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to do a plug. Now, what's the name of the tavern that Eric Boyd created that has in Aggregate to World's End? What's the one where
I wanted to talk about that. I forgot. Yeah, World's End. That's the one with the gate.
The gate,
right?
Yeah. Here's another one with
that?
the gate in Iron Gate, right? The World's End Tavern. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
World Serpent, the World Serpent Inn. World Serpent. Thank you, Norker.
That World's End, the World Serpent.
Curtis is going to get a joke out of this. He doesn't need any help because he's so in demand. But my good friend Todd Stashwick's book, Mystic Libations. Okay.
Oh yeah.
With all of the drinks, there is his inn here, which I ran on in his adventure. Also, Dimension Hops, and it's really a cool thing. It's in the back here. After Hours at the Bloodthorn, a playable RPG adventure in the Bloodthorn, and is his. So it's I buy a gnome named Stashwick. That's so funny. And there's notable items here, and the stats are in here for the characters. It's really cool. And he usually will sign the copy. I have it somewhere in here. Hopefully, I got mine. Yep, there you go. A nice note to me, which was cool from him. So just note that is something, another inn that you, if you're interested in, but beyond the World Serpent, which you can put in your campaign, and hop around. So, yep. This is a great discussion.
Yeah, it is very much so.
Breathtaking.
And notes. We're doing our best without Anna, so
failing miserably, but we'll carry on.
Thank you all for that. Yes. And hopefully you got some things out of this discussion tonight. Some ideas.
I'm glad Will showed up. Whew.
Well, hey, short notice again. Short notice, Will. I said, I was like, Will, yeah, we should talk about Ravensbrook locations, and please get the book. It's great. Even if you only get a PDF or whatever, get it.
And if you get it, do me a favor and leave a glowing review.
That would be nice.
Because all the algorithms and whatnot are all based off of reviews. So if it's ever going to get pushed up and get more people to look at it, it all depends on the reviews, the positive reviews. Like your mom said, if you have nothing nice to say.
Exactly. Oh, that's cool. Mac just linked a free one with the Hand of the Highwayman, a web archive one from back in the day. Thank you so very much for doing that, Mac. Nice. Really appreciate it. All right, let's do some shout outs here. Will, as our guest, what are you up to, man?
Well, I'm proud to say, not that I really have much to do with it anymore. It kind of works on its own, but the Greyhawk Adventures group on Facebook is now the second largest Greyhawk group page on Facebook.
Behind Sages?
Sages is the only one that's got more. They've got 44, and I'm at 37.
That's fantastic.
So yeah,
I post there a lot.
yeah. And I
That's
try
awesome.
to make sure that there's relevant material up there all the time and what
Very
have
cool.
you. So yeah,
That's
I only kick
excellent.
a few people out here and there.
I haven't seen any controversial discussions though.
That's because I actually I snip that stuff in the bud. I don't really tolerate that
Good.
sort of stuff. It's like if everybody's there to have a good time and talk about Greyhawk and Dungeons and Dragons and related material, anybody who's going to show their ass, well, they get shown the door. Just that simple. So, I'm currently editing up Dragon's Horde, which is the adventure I'm working on for everybody's favorite castle keeper, Mr. Cumbo. And so
Good.
I'm working on that. The adventure's done. I'm just doing the drudgery part of things now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I am still working on art for the Low Road article. The first piece I did, they turned it down. But it's okay. I mean, I understood. It's like it's a matter of
was it Rich or David?
It was Rich. But it was legit. It was legit thing. And it's basically I just if you ever work with an artist, the important thing to do is to give them good detail about
exactly. That's funny. So, oh my gosh.
But that's all right. I'm going to keep the piece of art, so it's it's my art, so it's no big deal there.
That's cool.
So I'm still working on that. As far as my Patreon goes, I've got 2 clerics left to do for my 5th edition cleric, and before they're done, I got to do Ralashaz and Ula, and then after those 2 are done, we're going into 5th edition Greyhawk Druids.
Oh, nice.
So I've already done Dark Druids. That's done and up there. So I'm going to start looking into different types of, because the thing, most people, it's like you ask them like, what would you like to see for Druids and stuff? And what they do is they throw out locations. Mostly they're forests. Well, it's like, okay, well, a druid in a thick forest over here in a temperate zone is probably going to be a lot like a druid in a thick forest temperate location over here. So there'll be more variations as far as the druids from cold places and warm places and things along these lines. But everything, of course, like everything, all the 5th edition Greyhawk archetypes I'm doing, it's all going to be connected to Greyhawk in some sort of way. And because I'm wanting to put more like 1st edition OSR stuff on there. I put up the first one in a new series. I think I've got 10 planned. They're 1st edition fighter kits. So I'm taking the idea of the fighter kit from 2nd edition, but I'm slimming it down to basically just something you can bolt on top of a 1st edition fighter. And I really got the idea from the show that I was on here with you guys when we were talking about it, and I was talking about how just 1st edition fighters, man, they have no love. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make some 1st edition kits. It's nothing overpowering, but something just give them a little bit of flavor and whatnot, and you can boil it down.
Cool.
I did the first one, the Outlaw, and that's up on the Patreon as well.
Nice, dude.
And so I'll be doing that in conjunction with continuing on with my 5th edition archetypes and stuff like that.
It's good to keep it in the old school.
Yeah. So it's like basically with old school essentials being so prevalent now, I can go ahead and I can make essentially an old school essentials, stat block and what have you, and it's usable with so much of the other OSR sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I do it in one style, and it fits. It's
universal.
Yeah, exactly.
Mac, it's no big deal. Everything I do is retcon back to 1st edition. It is. So, like the knights and all that, and it's a great idea. Yeah. He's giving flavor to it's basically,
and they're not really kits.
It's its own subclass. It's its own fighter subclass.
So basically, think about them getting like a non-weapon proficiency, a special skill, and some flavor text stuff, and there you go. That's the kit. That's all that comes to it. So
it's a fighter subclass.
Yep.
Perfect.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to give something to give the fighters a little extra something to it, besides flavor, and a little something cool that they can do, sort of thing. So
They are an Orker. It's just semantics a little bit. That's the
Yep.
difference, the way things are done. And that's why I always say everything for me gets pushed. I got 2E rules, but a lot of it gets pushed into 1E system. So
Yeah.
it's a 1E.
And these are
Flavor.
the ones that I'm doing. I'm doing it the same way as I do with the 5th edition archetypes. When it first comes out, it's patron only, and then generally I knock these out about one a week or two every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
When the second one comes out, the first one goes out to the public. It's open to the public. Still on the Patreon, but bulk of the stuff on the Patreon is open to the public. So if you join, though, you can vote. You get to vote on what I do, that sort of jazz. So that's it.
It's a great idea, man.
Thanks,
It's good
thanks.
because if you're doing, especially if you're doing old school essentials, it's just it's enhancing that. You can do it. You enhance in Castles and Crusades. There's a lot of different things that it'll enhance, and
it's usable in all that stuff.
Right.
You can just take it and bolt it right on top, and it's good to go.
I think it's a great idea. Fantastic. I appreciate it. Tonight, Will, hopping on. Thank you so very much.
Not a problem. It's always
this
a fun
was a
time.
fun, yeah, definitely. Thank you for your input there. Mike, what's going on?
Well, I did the research. I did the most I could.
It's great.
Here's my new Greyhawk repost.
Nice.
Featuring a lot of the material we've already covered. And I've given all the ends a rating of 1 to 4 skulls.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is cool.
All in Greyhawk. No, there's some others.
Published.
No, wow, Mike. Holy jeez.
Yeah.
Holy.
It's not complete by any means, but I was trying to cover places that do both serve drinks and have room.
You even have Trista in here, the town of Trista.
Yeah, Trista.
That's awesome.
So there you go.
That's great.
New Greyhawk repost. Yes.
That's fantastic. Anything else you want to talk about? When's Gen Con?
When is Gen Con?
Yeah.
Sometime in August. I don't know. I'll worry about that when it gets closer. But otherwise, I'm just gaming 2 or 3 times, a month, or not a month, like every other week. I'm in a couple games.
Nice.
Catch me on the Discords otherwise.
Very cool, Mike, and thanks. And see, look, we got through this without Anna.
Yep.
All right. This is a big week. And while you two were talking, I should be putting up what's going on this week, and I didn't because I'm a dummy. Let me put these up in reverse order. Next 3 streams this week. Give me 1 sec here. Should have done this ahead of time. Okay. So, what do we have going on? Thursday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Tomorrow, the Narwhal Headhunter Initiates Adventure 1002. Where did 1001 go, you guys? I just did 1000 on Saturday. I actually did it before 1000 because I messed up. All right, on the numbering. So we're on 1002. The Corrupted of the Gnarly. Let me see here. Here's our little. So they're going to a place called Forest Green Bastion, which is a location that is on my map on Narwhal, and I ran some adventures there way a long time ago in one live stream. Here it is. So here's Narwhal. Lorraine, here's Orlane, right? Lorraine here. Newbriar from U1 from Castle Crusades, but Forest Green's Bastion is right here on the way to TriCaster, and they're getting attacked. And it's a nice size keep, too. They're getting attacked by strange creatures that just, and we'll go into more details as the adventure goes, but corrupted creatures. So I got that. Here's a map for the table. And then you're like, oh, this keep is only up here because I don't want to tear it down and put it back up for Sojourn's Repose on Saturday because I'm lazy. It's just, I was like, no, I don't have room, I'm just leaving that up. But yeah, so we're ready for that. That's tomorrow night. It's a Reaper Miniature giveaway night. Hey, Kai, thanks. Good to see you. Yeah, Gnarly Forest. Something someone mentioned tonight, this is about. So if you can figure out what someone that will mention tonight on Druids, and it begins with a D, yes. So and it has to do with Rob Kuntz. We continue that story plot line coming up. Mm-hmm. Yes, I love it. I love the Rob Kuntz stuff. That adventure is awesome. So thank you very much for that follow, and Kai, thank you for the resub. All right, so and that's tomorrow night, and we'll do some Reaper miniature giveaways. Saturday night, the big one. Ed Greenwood, the legendary father of the specialty priests and most deities in Forgotten Realms. Eric Boyd and a Moonshays living. What's the living Forgotten Realms thing that everyone's Adventures League? Eric Mengi.
Yeah.
Right. Along with 4 members of the Slav Squad, Mandy, Myriad, Bones, and Darling, in a wonderful crossover event. The name of the adventure, which doesn't fit on here, is What Could Possibly Go Wrong? There you go. That's the adventure. They will
Famous
be at
last words.
Yes. They will be at Sojourn's Repose, and it will link in with the adventure that the Huntsman did, my guys, and Nerdy Guy to D&D did 2 Saturdays ago. It will link into both those adventures, and that will be Saturday. And then Sunday evening, if you want to know about Savage Tide Adventure Path, and I know nothing about the Savage Tide Adventure Path, we'll find out with James Jacobs and special co-host with me, Eric Mona, on Sunday evening. And that will finish up a really blockbuster week, because the week after will be very light. We'll only have Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'm on vacation for the entire week after that. So, yep. Yeah, oh yeah. This would be a really strong week for us. Really excited about it, and thank you all for the support. Let's do the 3 giveaways. Last call, exclamation point drawing. What we got there, Sam? Oh, you did. You got that too. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Yep. Matt got that too. Yeah. That's it. And that has a Sundered Spear in it, which is going to be in my adventure tomorrow with Falara and the group at the Sundered Spear, which I've used every time we've adventured in Narwhal. So, yep. Very, very cool. Thank you for linking that. All right. Last call. 3 giveaways. You get your choice. First winner can choose this. I will, if you please be Continental US. That's all I ask. 2 PDFs. I will need your email address for Ravensrook so I can get that to Will, and we'll send you the code so that you can get that off a drive-through. All right, 3 giveaways. Thank you, Will, for doing that.
Sure.
And please buy the hard copy. You know, it's a great book. Man. It's a great book. Okay.
Cheap comparative.
Yeah. Here we go. Gabriel 420. Gabriel. I know Gabriel. You are the first winner. Do you want So You Walk Into a Tavern or one of the PDFs? Your call. You let me know what you want. If you want this, or do you want one of the yep, you're lucky. Gabriel, just tell me what you want. The PDFs or the PDF is Ravensrook. Yes. Absolutely. The PDF of this. It is a lot of pages, too. It is 135 plus pages. So let me know. Yep. All right. So, Gabriel, whisper me your email address just so I have it, please. I probably do have it somewhere, but whisper it to me again. All right. That's first winner. Next winner. Then we're going to figure out who we're rating into. Chris, GD TRFB 1995. Chris, what do you want? Hey, Josh, were you lurking all night?
I know, right? That's the first time I saw him.
Yes. He's mad because he's not playing in that crossover game.
Oh, no.
He's on backup. He's on backup.
Hey, man, some people aren't even on backup, Josh.
I didn't think I thought for sure that both Eric Boyd and Eric Mengi couldn't play. I didn't think, and they both did. So, yeah. Put me in, coach. I'm hot. Yeah. What did Chris? What'd you take? All right, they're both got the PDF. Last winner,
Cool.
Uncle Fuzz. Fuzz. I probably have it, but just put it in Discord. I think I have your Discord, right? Put it in Discord.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the Kobold owned tavern.
Yeah.
It's in my own adventure from the Mermaid's Blessing. Yeah, they live in the walls and stuff of the tavern.
We're going to do, and I think it'll be a Gavin will, where we're going to have Carlos and anyone else, myself and you, and anyone else who's done published source homebrews, and we can discuss it. Yeah, definitely. We'll have we'll have a Gavin with that coming up too. So, all right, thank you all very much. Fuzz, you'll get this. I probably have it. I'll look in Discord, and if I can't find it, I'll whisper you there. Who are we raiding into tonight? I want to try someone new. If Nikki Nerds Out's on, but she's playing video games, I'd rather do a D&D stream. I've done the Mandy. I've done Phoenix Eureka recently. Crane's on. You know what? We're going. Thank you. You know what we're going to do? We're going to raid into initiative order, which is April Hill's group. So let's raid into initiative order. 20 sides. I just did them, Chris. I just did them last week, right? We're going to raid into the initiative order because I love April. So we'll change it up a little bit. That's a good name. Yes. All right. The initiative order will raid into them, and I'll let April know that I'm doing it. So thank you all so very much, Will and Mike. What a great show. Thank you. Fun time.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, I know, Mac. They're doing it, but I just rated. I want to change it up. I want to get into someone I haven't rated into in ages. So let's hit up initiative order. Please stick around, say hi, and then for them you can bolt there. And thank you all. What a great discussion. Here we go. The initiative order we'll go into. I know they're running the game. Raid. Second. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hope to see you all tomorrow night. Thanks.
Bye.
Awesome.
Gobbling's on break.
You gotta be kidding me. Boing. They were just on.
Right?
Boing.
They must have just gone on.
That's funny.